This conference will now be recorded.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. The Cayuga Grove Town Board will hold a public meeting beginning at 7 p.m. on Monday, April 19th, 2021 at the Town Hall at 4058 County Road N. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, you can also attend the meeting by GoToMeeting. We have a quorum present. The meeting was posted at the Town Hall and on the website. I'll call the meeting to order and we'll stand for the flag pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You have the minutes of our April 5th meeting in your packet.
Move approval as presented.
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay to approve the minutes for April 5th as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is finance report and approval of bills.
Are we done buying salt for our allotment?
Yep, we got it all.
Sweet.
We had to stuff it in. We had to stuff it in there, but we got it all in.
Good place to be though.
Yeah, everything's full. The salt shed's full. The sand and salt mixed bunker's full.
Ordered a little less for.
Yeah, we ordered 100 ton less next year, so.
It'll be.
Yeah, we're mixing now though, so we should be able to, we just mix a little heavier sand.
I'll move approval of checks 34,598 through 34,619 be paid.
Motion by Duplay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Anders to approve checks 34,598 through 34,619. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have in your packet the unaudited cash and investment balance of $2,641,207.53 and the March building permits.
Motion to approve as presented.
Motion by Anders. Second by Duplay to approve the March building permits as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. What else do we have?
To be on the site, Rachel, or do you?
When you do road inspections. And everybody got their copy of the financial statement from Johnson Block?
Yes.
Any questions? Good. All right. Next item is public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that's not a specific agenda item. Is there anyone online wishing to speak? Going once, going twice. Moving on to road right-of-way permits.
I got one.
Got one.
Alliant Energy, Field View Lane, the 2-inch gas main install, gas service to 3286 Field View Lane.
That's the storage facility.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see, they've been working over there.
The storage facility across from
Mini warehouses.
Oh, okay. Let's see, they must be working on the office.
Well, kind of, sort of.
It looks straightforward. They're gonna go down the right away and then shoot it in. From MN.
That's almost 3/8 of a mile. That's gotta be expensive as heck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't you just come down in and then shoot up?
Whoa,
Can't get access.
Yeah, I was wondering that too, and that's what they said, yeah.
I know.
I would have given it to them.
Yeah, I'd move approval of the request.
Motion by Anders, second by Fonger to approve the Alliant Energy Road right-of-way permit as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Did they have a start date on that?
Yeah, it's down there, it should be down in the,
Start on 4/19, estimated end date is 4/23.
So they have equipment on there?
I didn't see anybody there today.
no, I told him he wouldn't get approved. I actually talked to him the other day and today. He wouldn't get approval until after tonight's meeting, so
Probably mobilize and show up tomorrow maybe.
they got like all their crews out in Kennedy right now.
All right, moving on. Review the March police activity.
Well, hello, guys.
Hello, introduce yourself to everyone, Christina.
Absolutely. I'm Christina. Nice, I know I met some of you. Nice to meet you all. I'd come around and shake your hands, but COVID. So March police activity with the nicer weather, according to Jen, from what previously was, you know, the traffic incidents are going up, more people are out and about, more calls. That's the overwhelming majority of the calls is traffic stuff. And the overwhelming majority of citations is related to speed. Any questions, anything?
Tell us about your adjustment to the town of Cottage Grove.
Okay. So it's, I mean, I liked it because I can actually get to know people a little bit now. So that's a nice change. Before this, I was Southeast Precinct, but I was the available car. So I don't know, one day I might be Southeast, one day I'm West, one day I'm Northeast. I'm always changing beats, which it's fun because, and some days I'm cover, so I can go, or I was cover, I could go countywide. So that was a blast. But I never saw people. I never really got to follow up on stuff. You see them once. If you see them again, it's really bad because for me to be on in the same place 2 times, it's not a good sign. So now I actually get to stop, see people. If I run into someone walking down the street, I can actually stop and talk to them, which is a little bit different than a beat. The beat is a little more of a Band-Aid fix. Here you get to know the people, get to know the problems and try to address it from a different angle. So I'm really enjoying it, and it's a lot smaller than the county. So I've learned my way around into things I need to know a lot quicker than I did countywide. So it's been good. It's been a good adjustment. I've enjoyed it so far. Look forward to getting to know everyone a little bit more. Any other?
In the past, we've always allowed our officers to flex their hours. I assume you'll be able to do that too?
Yep, to my knowledge, I'm allowed to flex. And obviously, if you guys have any needs where you're looking for me to do something like that, reach out to me. Same if there's issues in the community. I know traffic's a priority. If something like that comes up, just let me know if there's questions, concerns, because I only know what you guys tell me. So as long as you come to me, let me know. I'm more than happy to work with you. I'm employed by you guys. Like, tell me what you need.
I know usually in the fall, we always have an issue with school bus stops starting up again and watching for those. So
School bus stops. Got it.
always an issue, I guess.
Well, and right now I'm 5 p.m. till 1 a.m. But if Jen's not on first shift or, you know, if I need to come in earlier, I have no problem doing that.
Steve's last day is Saturday?
Yeah, I believe that's the 24th, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So yes, that is his last day. And I know Jen, to my knowledge, is going first shift hours per request. And then I'll still be 5 to 1. Obviously, if you guys need me to come in a little more day shift hours, we can flex around and make it happen, not a big deal.
And do we have any news on how Bueller's doing?
I have not spoken to him recently. The last I talked to him was right when I came out. And I knew he had to have surgery, and that's all I've gotten. I haven't gotten any updates on how he's been feeling recently or how he's been doing. Fingers crossed he heals up real quick.
And we did approve some overtime while he's off for you and Jen.
Yeah, to mine 8 hours each a week, 16
Yes.
total, correct?
Yes.
Yep, so we will take care of
That
that.
in?
Yeah, just stay a couple hours extra every shift or 4 hours. We'll tack it on. We'll figure it out.
Okay,
No problem.
very good. Nice to have you with us.
Yeah. Pardon?
I said, I'm glad to have you.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here. It's wonderful meeting all of you guys. And if you see me out and about, don't feel bad to like flag me down and have a conversation. I talk fast. I will slow down. I always do that. And we can sit and have a conversation. It might be kind of hard to get me to shut up, FYI. But yeah, I'd love to get to know everybody a little bit more. And like I said, please approach me. I want to be approachable. I don't want to be somebody who's here, but you can't go to.
Very good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, it was a
Thanks.
pleasure meeting you all. I will get out of your hair.
All right. Have a good evening.
Yeah, you guys too.
Speaking of speeding, you had brought up about the 25 speed going away or something on Violet's there,
Uh-huh.
and now it's 45, 35, 25 in one block. Unbelievable.
And then the 45, 35s on Violet's is definite. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, I get some people there.
I don't quite understand it, but
No.
I don't know what the problem was before. Whatever,
Sorry, guys, I don't,
Yeah,
I
not your
don't have
fault.
an answer for you
not
there.
your fault. Yep.
Wow.
Is that all resident based?
Yeah, I think so.
Are they the ones who usually have that switch?
Well, those lower limits are in the village,
Yeah,
and so,
so that,
25's in the village.
where it goes to 35, that's the
It's
village
confusing.
starts.
It's a little
Yeah.
confusing, I'm not gonna lie.
Makes it hard to enforce, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, because
I would think so.
how are you really supposed to know?
I mean, aren't you guys supposed to like give them like 100 feet, to adjust to a change in speeds?
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit and get people when they're.
No,
like,
but
that's
I'm
not
just
fair.
saying, if,
Yeah,
you know,
gotta give them
when you're changing them
some
that quick,
space.
who's to say?
Yeah, exactly. And it makes it kind of tricky to do traffic too, because I'm not gonna pull people over on a stop where, you look at it and you're kind of like, huh, that doesn't make sense,
Right.
so
Exactly.
it's definitely a weird road for that alone.
Yep. If you get an opportunity, stop by and meet the fire department, EMS.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy.
Fires get, their meetings are usually on Tuesday nights.
Okay, every
and
Tuesday?
every Tuesday.
Well, that won't be too bad. What time-ish?
Oh,
I think 7.
yeah.
Well,
EMS, it's hard to say when
okay.
they have training the last.
Fourth Monday.
fourth
Chief?
Monday.
Eric, fourth Monday still for EMS training?
Yes, sir. Not tonight, but next week.
Next week.
Next Monday?
Yep.
Yeah. And we should start, official training will start at 6:30, but there should be people arriving anywhere between 5:45 and 6 p.m.
Okay,
That's good to know.
very good.
Awesome.
All right, thank you much.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night.
You too. Next item, discuss and consider approval of a second driveway for 2888 Buston Road.
Yeah, so the resident called. I went up and took a look. It doesn't look like an issue. There's no other driveways from his driveway all the way to Bus Road. You know where Bus Road is? And then you turn right onto Buston. And there's not, you got Charlie Caprielli on the right.
Yep.
And then his is on the left. That's the next one. And it's a good distance. So I mean, I don't see the ditches nice there. I don't see any issue with it. It's just up to you guys if you want to allow them to have a second one.
What's it for?
Yeah, what's he gonna get to?
Fifth wheel camper.
Oh, he wants to park it out on
In the
the
yard, yeah.
Hmm.
In the grass.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Williams to approve the second driveway for 2888 Buston Road. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is to award of the bid for the Natbig landfill gas vent project. And Tina Siebold is online. If we have questions, we had one bid that was received last Friday, the 9th, at 12:30 for $44,645. Landfill Drilling and Piping Incorporated.
It's kind of surprising because of the fact, I believe there was 7 packets that were sent out. I mean, so it wasn't like there was just that one, but just one person chose to, I'm sorry?
Yeah, there was only one that
Chose to
submitted a bid.
Was this a lot? I have no clue. I don't know.
Which did what we,
It's a little under what Strand thought it would cost to install those.
And this is their busiest time of year. You know, excavators are really busy right now.
Yeah.
I move approval. It's the only one.
Motion by Duplay,
Second.
second by Williams to approve the bid for landfill drilling and piping incorporated at $44,645. Any discussion on the motion?
Yeah, what is quantity? 160, 150, what is that? Any idea?
And is this
Is
the?
that feet or something, or
Linear feet.
linear feet?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, the LF in front of it.
Is that taking all the old pipes out?
No, this
No,
is
that's
adding
addition.
One new one,
no,
No.
multiple.
three-parter or whatever it was.
We have 3 there now. They're adding.
7
Tina,
more.
how many are we adding?
We are adding, the bid was set up to add 7 more.
7?
7.
Wow.
looks like a calliope there.
Yeah.
That all depends, of course, on how deep they go and, you know, some other factors. But that 161 feet was based on adding 7 more vent wells at approximately the same depth of the existing ones.
Is there a crisis at the dump or something, or?
Yes.
Well, we had to run this through the DNR. There is the gas migration that we talked about all last year.
Yeah.
That's why we installed that gas probe across Natbig. And we've continued to detect gas in one of the probes right on the shoulder of Natbig. So the DNR wanted to see these wells put in, and they had a lot to do with the number.
Keeping the DNR happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any other discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. So Tina, what do we have to do to notify them of the acceptance?
We will put together, once you have your motion carry, which you've just done, then what we will do is prepare a notice of award. So that's a letter that we will send to the contractor along with 3 sets of contracts. And it's got very detailed instructions in that letter of what they have to sign and all the documentation that they have to get.
Okay,
So they need to start working on that, and then they have 15 days to return that to us so that you can then in turn take the documents and review them and sign everything. And then set the notice of award date, notice to proceed date.
right.
And then
they
get that
have
to the
60 days to get the work.
Exactly, yep. Contractor has 10 days to return the contracts, right? You have 10 days, I'm sorry, to return the contracts, get them all signed, so we can get the notice to proceed to the contractor. And then from that notice to proceed date, they have 60 days to complete the work.
Okay. We're good then.
All right, wonderful.
You.
We will get right on that letter and have that to you in the next couple days.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks. Next item, review draft ordinance to regulate yard waste drop-off, set date for public hearing. Hot off the press.
This is the ordinance that came this afternoon from the attorney that you can see it's more of a starting point probably than a finished product. It's actually a recycling center. I would think we would want to call it a yard waste drop-off site, not a recycling center.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I think we need to pretty much go through this word for word and see what else you want to change. I would suggest that it is ordinance section 1606, because if you look at our table of contents of our ordinances that I have up on the top on the screen right now, that's our waste disposal ordinance, and that's the next available section.
Right.
So I would put it.
Yeah, that's 1606 for town recycling center, but
Oh, he did have 1606, yep. Yep, and so, but I would change everything that says recycling center to yard waste drop-off site. And then as far as, dropping deposit of, it should just say exactly what Purple Cow takes, not,
yeah.
which, if you look at your information for the next
From
agenda
them.
item, they aren't as specific in that as I hoped.
Yard waste,
But they
clean
do
up
say
food
material
materials,
must
plastic,
be.
concrete, trash.
So I think we just take that and maximum diameter of 4 inches, sod is not accepted, and put that right in the ordinance.
We're just taking yard waste, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get rid of all the stuff that's currently in this draft ordinance about
Recyclable items, yeah.
Yeah.
everything, and just take that third paragraph out of Purple Cow's contract that's your next agenda item.
Did he specify what he meant by 4 inches diameter? They don't take,
branches, wouldn't
That's
that be
all.
I would
branches?
take
They
that
don't
as
take
big
any
branches,
brush.
and we
No.
don't want any
he
of
said
that.
no brush.
Yeah.
Yard
When
waste,
I talked to him,
I mean, 4 inches is like that big around.
yeah, that's why I was wondering what the 4 inches is for.
yeah, we sure don't want to
Stems,
start
like,
taking brush.
have you seen a sunflower stem?
Like plant,
Yeah,
like plant stems?
yeah,
Oh, okay, like
Yeah.
balls or bulbs,
yeah.
probably too. They probably gotta cut their bulbs in half if they're gonna send those through.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe we want to also add sod and brush are not accepted.
No
Yeah.
brush.
Sod and brush are not
No brush,
accepted.
no sod.
Yeah, I caught a lady this weekend dropping brush down below, so
Really?
yeah,
Already.
told her to load it back up and take it home.
Did she?
Yep, I watched her.
She could have got a burning permit, I think.
That's what I said. Said go online.
Yeah. Because there weren't any restrictions this weekend. Nope.
Good thing you saw it.
I know. You think I left something at the shop?
Where was she putting it?
Down below where we
Down
burn.
below.
Oh, yeah?
where we burn.
Whoop.
I didn't see that.
So we're gonna look at this next,
Well, we need to set a date for the public hearing.
Well, first we need to get the language
Yeah.
cleared away
Yeah.
here, so,
Yeah.
because then you don't have to have a public hearing, but we typically do, so I would suggest that we do just before the next meeting and then adopt it at that same meeting, but
On the 3rd.
yeah, I would think it would be a good idea to just make sure you have that. Anyway, so if we change, so it's item 1, as long as we change recycling center to yard waste drop-off site, is everybody good with
Yes.
item 1?
Yep.
Yes, in both places where it's in item 1.
Yep, so let's just, anywhere in the whole thing that it says that, we'll change it
To yard
to
waste.
yard waste. So then 2, use.
Town residents.
Hours specified by the board. So, I mean, leaves it nice and open that you don't have to change your ordinance every time you want to change hours. You can just
Right.
post something different, so that's good. So then when we talked about deposit of yard residuals, I guess basically use that paragraph from the Purple Cow contract.
Yeah.
Sod and brush are not accepted.
No
And
plastic.
other items as designated by the town board, you can leave that in there in case you ever have another option for something, you don't have to change your
Yeah.
ordinance again. All persons entering the town or drop-off site, whatever, will comply with all regulations thereof, so that means they comply with the signage.
Right.
All materials will be put within the designated container. Is that good?
Yep.
Fees, this leaves it so you can adopt a fee and put it in your town fee schedule. You could do that or not to start with.
I think for now, we just leave it blank.
Think about it, but you got that. So then unlawful deposit. So here again, I think you'd want to add brush and sod
Right.
to this to reinforce that.
Brush, sod, concrete, construction material.
Okay. Materials unless previously approved by the town clerk or the town public works director. I suppose that's okay. I wouldn't approve anything without checking with somebody
Yeah.
anyway.
You on highway superintendent instead of public works?
Yeah. And at the top, you probably want that too, town highway department facility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, sorry, I was gonna say
I
that.
don't even think you need section 5, do you?
I don't know if you do either.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
All right.
No scavenging.
yeah, because we don't offer those types of services, so.
So he doesn't have a penalty in here.
Section 25.04.
Yeah, but he does have class C. Never mind. I didn't see that. Class C, so.
Forfeiture.
You know, look and see what a class C is.
Yeah.
We're taking 6 out too,
Yeah, you don't need that either.
right?
What's that?
6.
I don't know, you want people
I don't,
taking stuff out?
What's the difference? What are they gonna take?
I guess
Cheaper for us to take. If somebody
Yeah.
I would assume
But who
if
was
they
going-
got hurt.
Well,
It's just, you don't really want people to be in there if they don't have.
Yeah.
exactly, that's kind of what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah,
Class C is first violation 25 to 75, subsequent violations within 12 months, 75 to 500.
I don't know, 25 bucks is too cheap. Not even close.
75, we've been kind of like trying to get them to go to the highest and make people come to court to get it written down. So we've been having the police update some of their track
You know, if you
system.
lead rush for 25 bucks.
It's worth it for 25 bucks.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta,
make it 500 bucks then.
well,
Well, I mean, if you want to really stop.
no, but true, I mean, I definitely want to discourage people if we get the court to assess a conviction. Well, we'll just slap your hand this time and let you go kind of thing, which, I mean, we don't have any choice over that, obviously, but, I just think that it needs something more than,
You could go to Class D, that's 50 to 500 first offense, 500 to 1,500 within 12 months.
I mean,
You want to go to D or leave it at C?
I would prefer B. And if nothing else, it might take just a couple of people for the word to get out that you
D
know,
as
the
in
town
dog.
needs business, I'm sorry,
D is a dog.
yeah, what did I say?
B.
Oh, sorry,
That's D.
Delta.
Higher range.
500, 50 to 500. And then the next one is higher yet.
D is 50 to 500 first offense, 500 to 1,500 second offense in 12 months.
I think that I would support D.
Okay.
Okay,
Anything else? So we'll have a public hearing before our May 3rd meeting and have this on for adoption that same evening. Is that all right? with
So we're
everyone?
gonna start the meeting at 6:30 or just
No,
7 o'clock still?
we'll just start at 7 o'clock because I doubt that we're going to have a big crowd talking about this ordinance.
I can bet you 2 people.
Well, hey,
you
Chris,
didn't want to do anything with identifying vehicles as town residents or anything, right? Because there's nothing in here for that.
How would we do?
Well, that's what was talked about last time was stickers, but I don't know. if
I know, but I mean, can you actually focus in on one of those little stickers?
We'll find out.
I mean, it's something that you could probably do later under the fees. You probably could do that and say that they have to have paid, get a sticker when they buy their fee, you know, when you do your.
I would
fees,
be
you just-
more concerned somebody dropping off brush or something that we can't recycle, then we want that license plate number to give to the police rather than selling a sticker.
well, I guess
So
I
you
would
can,
be,
you
I would
can
be,
read license plates okay with this, right?
Should be able to.
I guess for the time
Once we
being,
get
I
it
would be,
installed, we'll test it.
Yeah,
I guess for right now, it's okay, and we
Yeah.
can look at it again at the end of the year. I'm pretty sure we will anyway, won't we?
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess too, for me, you know, I could be on board with leaving the fee part portion in the ordinance, but not acting upon it currently. But I guess, let's see how much it costs us,
Right.
you know, if it's, you know, lots of money.
But I mean,
Start
if we
charging
take the first load out to Purple Cow and they refuse it because we've got something illegal dumped in it.
That won't
He won't
happen.
load it.
That won't happen.
He won't load that.
I'm not gonna load it in the truck if they can't take it.
I'm just, you know,
Because we have to inspect it too, you know?
yeah, but I'm just thinking of anything that can go wrong.
Let's find out.
Yeah,
We have a great tool for loading it too, that grapple bucket. So
right.
What's that?
the grapple bucket we have.
Oh, yeah, that works great.
For loading, because then we can
You're
pick
gonna
through it a little
find-
bit.
Yeah,
You're gonna find this
Yeah.
stuff if they tried to bury something that they shouldn't have thrown in. Are we all right with taking the draft and setting the date for the public hearing for May 3rd?
Yes.
is there any positive to be done if we brought it up at the annual meeting?
Well, it is on the
It's
agenda.
on
so
the
I think,
agenda to
you know, we
update
can
them.
tell
that-
them, you know, the town board reviewed a draft ordinance last night. There'll be a public hearing May 3rd and with adoption. And in theory, you could be up and running May 4th.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
I think we'll just give that update. And Dan's got all the stuff pulled together here. Signs will be the next thing to get figured out.
Yeah. I'll just start writing them up and see what you think.
Do that now that we've got the ordinance.
Yeah.
We want it to follow the same listing of materials that are allowed.
Yeah, because we have to post our ordinance on the one sign, so.
Yeah,
And well, basically, a lot of this can be posted on there. The penalty is a class, whatever, forfeiture, and
yeah.
so people know.
Okay. So let's move on to the next portion then. Discuss and consider approval of the Purple Cow Organics 2021 service agreement for yard residuals. $12 a ton, 3 times to get it weighed. In and out.
Yeah, he wants 2 empty weights to start proof of empty. And then we have to weigh our first 3 full loads.
Right.
And then we'll see, he said we'll see after that how much more we have to weigh.
Yeah,
Cause he's like, he doesn't want to overcharge us, you know, cause obviously it's compost.
right.
So like, yeah, as we take the stuff in, if I know it's a way lighter load than the week before, I'm gonna scale it again and send him that scale ticket.
Right.
So in Houston, I talked to, I think it was Renee, I think that's her name, at the office that handles all the scales whenever we call from the scale house. And she said they'd be fine with allowing us to just print empty tickets and, you know, I can send them to him then. She's like, it's just paper, she said, so.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I did say something to the guy down here at Landmark too, and he said if nothing else, we could always run across there too. That's not that big a deal,
Mhm.
you know, to get empty weight, because they just need a certified scale, so.
Yeah.
He wanted me to go down to the state troopers on the interstate and scale empty and have that sent. I'm like, they're gonna charge us, I know for sure. And I don't really want to pull across the scale to do that.
Motion to approve.
And the cat scales down at the truck.
Motion
stop.
by
Pretty
Fonger
expensive.
to approve. Is there a second?
You're giving the voluntary
Second by
inspection.
Williams to approve the agreement with Purple Cow Organics. Any discussion?
Are they expecting us to like ship them 1 load every week or?
No. I had a discussion with him and I told him to be honest. I said, I don't know what our rate is gonna be, you know, as far as how many times we're gonna have to take in a month. I said, at first,
We don't know. How
it
much
might
we're
not be
gonna
much
get.
at all. You
Well,
know,
it's the same guy and his wife, so that would be 1 garbage can a month.
you know, it's funny though, there's more people than that. We find stuff dumped back here by our
Of
dirt
course you
piles
do.
all the time. All the time. Just brush.
There's more calls than you realize.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they think it's a township, so they could just come here and dump it. They'll take care of it.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's in the middle of the parking lot down below by that bunker.
Yeah.
They just dump the stuff and take off. Like the lady this weekend, she was just gonna dump her brush there and hope somebody picked it up.
And then the water heater out there by the recycle.
That's
bin.
ours.
Is it?
Three down here.
Okay.
We replaced.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. I mean, that would have taken a lot of guts to
Oh,
bring a water heater home.
no, usually they're laying in the ditch when we find them and put them out here.
With the tires and everything else.
That tire.
So back to the motion to approve. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider response action to take a notification of continuing obligation and residual contamination at 4705 Ridge Road.
Look at all these documents you're
That's
brought back
actually-
memories.
2205 Ridge Road. I got it
Yeah.
on the agenda.
Oh. Is this from when? This some time ago, right?
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
Long time, right? They're right in the corner.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah, that's,
Well, I'm just saying, it really came to a head back.
there was
in the 90s.
water running in the ditch for a while.
Yeah, what did it say on there when it was removed? It didn't say a date on there. It was a long time ago.
Oh, God.
The old Walling Garage. So we heard from Bill and we also heard from Nick.
Nick agreed with Bill.
So
To do what? To stop it from being a site or what?
Go
to
ahead
oppose
and
the closure of it.
closure of the case, basically,
Yeah.
right?
That's the best thing that we can have, right?
Well, and the
I
only thing
mean,
is that
unless,
I mean, so it leaves continuing obligations on the right of way because it has spread into the right of way. So that's basically saying that those will fall on us. But then they're also saying that the closure would come with conditions about wells and whatnot.
Yeah, for any future water wells.
Yeah, what did he say there, attorney, about what we're liable for?
No, neither one of them said anything about that. They recommended accepting the closure.
Since the DNR wants to close it, they just said close it.
Yeah. Oh. More of it's on the county's road right away than ours.
Well, the seepage.
Yeah.
Well, from when's the last time they tested this? Doesn't even say, does it?
Yeah, I did not see it say anything about when
It looks to me like they're just trying to close it, period. That's all. Get it off the books. I didn't see anything in
If
there.
it was at a scary level, they wouldn't want to close it, I wouldn't think, but.
Well, if they close it, it should be over.
And this is, they're asking us whether we plan on closing it?
If we oppose the closure of it.
No, I would say no.
I would make a motion, we do not oppose the closing.
Second.
Motion by Fonger, second by Duplay to not oppose the closure of contamination at 4205 Ridge Road. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider approval of a master service agreement with Language Line Services Incorporated for provisions of contract for language interpreter services for the court. And this has come up and April is online. And when they have someone that doesn't speak English, we have to supply the interpreter.
We had a contract with somebody on this all along or no?
We haven't had one for a long, long time. It was, I think, very early when Beth first took over that we had one court case where we had to hire an interpreter.
That would give you sense a minute, how long is it usually? I mean, is it
You're
like-
in court. So I don't know. It could take 5 minutes. It could take an hour and a half. It's a court case.
Well, you guys know, I don't seem to have it put on the screen, but
Does apply per appointment $100.
Yeah.
Is this what Dane County does to them?
I do not know what Dane County does for interpreters.
Well, it's a phone interpretation, so it's not like it's, the $100 is for if they show up to do it at the court,
Yes.
and then the other is by phone.
Right.
So I wouldn't think it costs us much money. I don't know.
And we don't have that. This is first one April's had, isn't it?
So there's two different contracts you guys have there to look at. There's one that's specifically for language line, and then there's another one that is for,
On-site interpreting.
yeah, so one of them is for different languages, like, Spanish, French, Chinese, a variety of different languages. And then the other one is specifically for the deaf. So it would include like sign language. And that one I don't think includes a variety of different languages. But the one that I think is most critical for sure would be language line. And that's what a lot of other courts offer and utilize. we did kind of do some research and we talked to a lot of other courts to find out what they're using, and a majority of them use language line services. There's no upfront cost to it. It's just a contract that you sign, and then when you use it as needed. It would come into play, of course, when we have a defendant that would be in need of those services, or when the court is in need of those services. And then, I mean, we haven't yet actually had to actively use the service, but in the event we need to, it's nice to actually have it planned out instead of, be rushing or scattered and not have a plan in place for looking for it. So, so this would actually, we'd have it ready to go in the event we needed it, basically.
And what do you call them, a day in advance or something, or?
One of them is so the language line, you just call them right when you need it, or you can call them as you need it. It's a as needed type of thing. You just have to sign the contract so that you can use it, and you can call them when you need to. And then the other one, I think, is the appointment. I think you have to schedule that one out. And then if you don't make the appointment, like if you miss it or you cancel it, then you still have to pay for it, type of thing. So, I think the language line is a pretty fair price. It's not, and that's what I've heard from other judges and other courts, is that it's very fair for the amount of time they use it. It could get expensive if you had to use it for like a trial or something like that, because some of those can go kind of long or be lengthy. But if you're just using it for an initial appearance, it'd go pretty fast. So.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion was for language line.
Yeah.
Motion by Funkers, second by Duplay, to approve the language line phone interpreting contract. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstentions. Motion carried. Next is to discuss and consider approval of agreement with Professional Interpreting Enterprise for hearing impaired interpreting services for the court.
I was just noticing that language line in their Insight version, which is the next tier on the second page, does offer American Sign Language.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah. So I noticed that too, Kim. And I suspect that they would probably be able to handle the hard of hearing. I think the difference is that it looks like that the second one, this second contract that you're looking at now, that is one where they can actually come and perform it in person if needed. So if you wanted somebody to actually come in person and be present face to face, that looks like they have that ability to do that with that second service.
The travel time, everything else.
Yeah, if somebody needed that.
That might be more like
Yeah,
their trials, I mean.
the trial. So are other courts using PI for their hearing impaired?
I think Monona is. I think that's what Vicki had mentioned, is that Monona uses this second one. Ideally, I think we're always going to try to shoot for the language line resource first, because that one seems to offer the most features and be the least expensive. But if need be, this second one would be another additional resource available to us if we absolutely needed it.
I move we do not consider approval of an agreement with Professional Interpreting Enterprise at this time.
Motion by Duplay, is there a second?
What was the motion?
Not
To
to accept the agreement with PIE, Professional Interpreting Enterprise.
At this time.
No. Did we vote on we voted on the other one, right?
Yes.
Second.
Motion by Duplay, second by Fonger to not accept the contract for the agreement with Professional Interpreting Enterprise. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Are you all good with that, April? Judge?
I guess the second one is just an additional I mean, it's fine.
You can't hear.
Yeah, so the second one just would have been an additional resource in the event we needed somebody to assist us face to face in person with somebody who's hard of hearing, to provide sign language face to face. You know, if we had somebody come into the court for a trial. So that would, but we could also try so with the language line, we'll see if we have the ability to do something through the computer virtually. So
Video remote interpreting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can make that work with the language line resource.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, thank you.
Did we vote on that?
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we
Yes.
did.
All right, next item, discuss and consider approval of quote from Dane County Highway Department to conduct speed studies on various town roads. $3,600 for the 6 roads. Motion by Anders to approve. Is there a second? Second by Duplay. This motion and a second to approve the agreement with Dane County for speed studies at Vilas Road, Loudon, North Star, and Ridge Road for a total of $3,600. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Question for you, April, will you sign the agreements with the language, or do I have to do that?
I think either of us can do that. So whatever you prefer.
All right, I'll defer to Kim.
Okay.
Flip a coin. Okay.
Always in charge.
Next item, discuss use of American Rescue Plan Act funds. I'm assuming everyone's seen that at some point we're going to get like $380,000 over the next 2 years. And so I thought we should start discussion, even though we don't know for sure what they're going to allow us to use it for, but what would we want to use it for if it was allowed?
Roads, bridges.
Something other in addition to roads. I mean, we'll always find money. I'm not gonna, I mean, there's stuff that we can, I'm sure, come up with other than roads to, I mean, that. I can't see us, we get $300,000 just to stick it all into roads and do nothing else. I mean, I was hoping maybe we could use it that would actually benefit people directly rather than driving on a couple of miles of road that are now newly paved as opposed to not newly paved.
Well, rebuilt roads. Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm getting tired of just repaving over the same narrow roads that we have that don't have a shoulder.
Yeah, we're just putting Band-Aids on. That's all we can afford.
But it does cost so damn much money to
And
rebuild
I
one.
understand that, but this could be a possibility of $300,000.
How much road could you rebuild for 300?
I don't know, but we don't ever know
It
that
costs
because we
us,
never.
what, $600,000 to do that
Yeah.
North Star, which
Right.
was Is that 3/4 of a mile?
Just about a mile, yeah.
So how do you pick a road that really has a general benefit to the town?
Yeah.
That's half as long as North Star,
Right,
you know?
right. That isn't going to be taken over by somebody.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was the other thing I was gonna say
Yeah.
is that we're not sharing with a majority of the village people.
I mean, it'd be nice to redo Coffee Town Road from end to Violet, because that's really in terrible shape. Half of it's the village.
The worst
Right.
part, the worst section.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that this money was supposed to be for, well, first of all, a stimulus, so something that might stimulate the economy somehow, but also something that you wouldn't do otherwise. Like, one of the things they mentioned is broadband, and I don't know if we can do much about that, but, you know, look at if there's something we can do to get it out into these areas that are looking for it, if there's something.
Find out what it costs to run down.
Because that has a stimulus effect when you think about, I
it
mean,
would be great to be able to run down North Star Road for the commercial business
right?
that we want to get there.
Or are out into the areas that the people are, you know, working from home now. Kids have been going to school from home and they don't have it. You know, if there's something that it could do to facilitate that, that's one thing that is mentioned already. There's not
Yeah.
a lot mentioned, but
The broadband, once it's put in, it's taken over by somebody else. Is that the way that works or what?
usually I think, yeah. Yeah, we don't want to run a utility or anything,
Well,
but
It sort of doesn't make sense to me, but I don't know.
You
What
could-
about
could run a
Partnering
utility.
with Charter or TDS to say, hey, what's it gonna cost?
I don't think you'll get them to do it, but I don't know if you could get more. I mean, based on what the UpNet Wisconsin guy found, you know, they just aren't interested unless it's
Yeah.
big concentrated areas. They just aren't interested. But, you know, what could we do with somebody like that? Could he put up a tower somewhere out there that he could see from another tower that he could get, you know, what could he do with that kind of money, for example? And I don't know if he'd want to spend all of it that way, but
No,
those are the kind of things that I think we should be looking at, are things that we really feel like we've never thought, oh, we don't want to do that. That costs too much money. Those are the kind of things that we should be looking at with this money,
And
not
see,
things.
the state's gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, and I
Maybe.
mean,
So, I mean, what,
and how do you know
Maybe.
if the state's even gonna let us do that?
You don't, but
it's,
that's one of the
Yeah.
things that is mentioned even so far. you
Yeah.
know,
By
so-
both sides
Road
of the
ban.
aisle.
Yeah,
So,
so that's just an example, but I
Yeah.
guess I like to see things that, you know, you're gonna do stuff with your roads, you always do, but what could we do what can we
No,
dream
we
up
do.
that would have an overall benefit that we wouldn't do otherwise without that money?
parks,
Maybe. Yeah.
Parks?
soccer fields, whatever, recreational trails,
you want the bike paths in along some of our
who
roads.
knows? Yeah,
What I've heard too is a pavilion at a park. Like we don't have,
that's true.
we only have one shelter in one park. And it's not much of one.
Right, at Bass.
Yeah.
We could do that. I mean, there's a lot of things that we could do.
Well, and it's, you know, we should start thinking about these things so that we can have something ready when that money does finally start flowing to us. That you aren't then sitting on it for, I don't know how many months trying to decide, well, what are we going to do with it? But then, you know, just so you know what is coming up down the road, you know, next year we have a fire engine to pay for, our portion of it. And we'll probably also have a tanker truck that's up for replacement in 22 or 23. And next year we finish paying for the third ambulance.
yeah.
Nice to take care of that fire department.
Well, and I don't know if we could ever use any of this money for that, but just so you have those thoughts in the back of your mind that we are going to have to come up with that money. So, you know, if you looked at your audit, you know, we have a very strong financial standing. if we so wanted to really rebuild a road that was, I don't know, 2.5 miles long, we could pay for a chunk of it with that money, and we could borrow the rest because of our good financial management of the township.
My ex never trusted me with the checkbook with that.
I don't either. But those are things that we could look at. And if you choose to do something like that, then you have to decide, are you going to bond for it, or are you just going to go to a local bank and try to borrow it? You have a lot of things to weigh out. Only time that I know of that we ever bonded was when we did build the fire station and we bought trucks.
Yep.
Seems sort of weird to get free money and then we're gonna borrow more money to use the free money. That to me makes no logic. There's no logic there.
That's how they get you to stimulate the economy.
Yeah,
But Mike, if we were ever going to really rebuild a road,
yeah, but what, I mean, one that's traveled tremendously?
yeah, I would think we would want to take a look and get some traffic counts on Ridge, Baxter, not Vilas Hope. I don't think I want to do anything with that, but maybe Vilas, parts of it. Some of those roads that I'm sure Dan sees that there's a lot of traffic on some roads more so than others.
Well, Vilas seems to be like it needs some work right now. Seems to be past the soccer field or going south.
Yeah,
The road just doesn't,
part of that's in the village.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
past it, I said.
Okay,
Yeah, so you gotta go all the way to Coffee Town before you can get to just truly ours.
yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of that's been redone. I'm actually, part of that's gonna get overlaid this year.
I just thought we should start the conversation and start thinking about what we are going to do with that money and how we want to move forward. Maybe if there's something else that's really high on your list of things to do, how do we incorporate all of that in our financial plan for the township?
I could see you building 4 different things in parks where, with
Yeah,
picnic
but
areas
that-
underneath. I think that's something that everybody uses are, the parks, I think. They use them a lot more, I think, if we had
A shelter.
some shelter, maybe not totally expensive ones, but maybe put 3-4 shelters up, in different parks.
But are they just a shelter, or do they have bathroom and water to them?
No, bad.
No.
Water.
No,
No.
no.
Just the shell?
Something, it looks nice and,
And then it's not gonna get.
keep you out of the rain and
It's not gonna get vandalized.
Well, you're probably going to get some of that at some point in time. We're going to get unlucky and have vandalism, but you can't.
You could shift them to like parks, maybe. It's not because it's in my neighborhood, but like Nightingale, which you have a street light up. No,
I think you'd want to pick the parks with the most potential to create a community by having someplace like that to go to, the parks where that would bring that neighborhood together and create a community.
yeah, neighborhood park.
And Ravenwood has a light in it already.
Yeah.
Right by the backstop. But it's too crowded with trees there. I mean,
yeah,
and then you take up the soccer field with the pavilion. It's not a big enough park there.
American Heritage has got a lot of room.
And a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Same one, the park over at Damascus too.
I hear everybody's getting a benefit without their taxes being raised,
Where do you put bleachers down here for the soccer field?
Or bleachers that's another good item. We should have bleachers there.
Bleachers
Down here.
can't be that expensive.
What's that?
I mean, bleachers aren't that expensive. I mean, not like the schools. but-
I don't know.
Actually,
Aluminum,
this would be a
bleachers, that's
good
all.
place for a shelter because it's not anybody's
Yeah.
neighborhood, it's the whole town. It's more of and it would be something you could rent out and it wouldn't pack up somebody's neighborhood because everybody's coming there. This would be a good place for a shelter.
With electricity even here
Yeah,
Yep.
and water.
you could create something here.
I
That's
will-
village water.
Yeah.
I will tell you, adding that zip line to our neighborhood park has made a huge change in that park,
In the amount of
in
usage.
the amount of usage of that park. And it was also a wonderful community building project, putting it
Exercise.
together. It was the best thing in the 46 years we've lived there.
And asphalting with a parking lot up there wouldn't be bad, you know.
Yeah, and the parking lot in that front area, that would be a
Yeah.
little chunk of change too.
Sure.
Well, nobody has complained about that. They just love having
Yeah.
that zip line.
And we're gonna be blacktopping that neighborhood this year because of trip money.
Right. Janelle,
And the cul-de-sac,
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
which we
be.
gotta get going on too.
When do we find out what we can use it for?
The Department of Treasury has to interpret it.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
that's,
So next
You
year,
know,
maybe.
I don't know, I would hope maybe there'd be something in the May Towns magazine, again, updating us as to what they found out from Treasury. You know, I have no idea how long it takes them to interpret the law, but I would hope sometime this summer, we would definitely know for sure what you could use that money for.
So have they told you the exact amount already? Have they told us?
Yeah,
Then they should have had a list of,
Well, we haven't gotten any direct communication. It's all
Oh.
that spreadsheet that's out
Oh,
there. you know.
yeah, no, when they send out your exact amount you're gonna get, they'll have a detailed list.
right.
I think it said, I was on there reading a little bit.
So I don't know, should we be looking at some sort of a structure to put in various parks?
Yeah, see what kind of costs we're looking at. So we're ahead of the game here. We
Like,
can-
what kind of size would you be thinking of?
10 by 10.
That's tiny.
Well, Are we gonna have to tell them first what we can spend? Or are they just gonna say, well, you know, Cottage Grove gets $300,000? I don't know, I didn't quite take it like that, but maybe it's true, I don't know.
Is
I wonder
it
if we
gonna
wanna
be
do a
like the,
survey, you know, of like we've done before for parks and things to get people's opinions, because some might want the shelter, some might want the zip line, some might want the walking trail.
Shelter was on a lot of them, like people had that on there.
yeah, we have that park survey that we did a couple of years ago. We can go back and look at that.
Well, that's my wife.
Yeah,
There you go.
there we go.
What a baseball field.
I don't ever
I
vote
love
against
baseball.
anything she puts down there for what should be done. But there,
Maybe we'll try to,
A diamond in it.
maybe we'll
None
start
of it
an
happened.
alpaca farm.
Huh?
None of them have a diamond.
only got one left.
Well, I know, but I
They
mean,
all have,
at least we've got a
they
back.
all have a backstop of sorts. Yours is the nicest backstop. Actually, you could put a nice little league field there. That'd be
Yeah,
a great
that's what I was
for a
thinking.
little
They
league
used
park.
to use that for Little League.
T-ball or something.
T-ball.
Yeah, T-ball.
Yeah, the rec department did, yep.
Yeah,
But the village has good fields, you know, for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they do, but there's never enough of that kind of stuff. I mean, I coach baseball, there's never enough fields. Never.
Really good fields, you mean?
But just usable, you know, practice,
You're
games,
saying it's an open bunch of grass isn't really a good field.
not for baseball.
Just because it's got a backstop, it doesn't mean much.
No.
so. Anyway, I just thought we should start thinking about it. And if you want me to put it on a future agenda when we have more information, I will do that, but
Do we want to talk about tomorrow night at the annual meeting?
again, I don't have answers as to what we can use it for. We could get questions as to what they would consider good ideas and see if it falls in the Treasury's interpretation then. But we can move on. unless somebody wants more on that. We need to reconsider the request for credit for routes to recovery funds shared with Deer Grove EMS toward town's share of the cost to study the Deer Grove EMS district. And that was because
I didn't think it was right. It was just, it's money that you guys didn't spend.
was
And so you
earmarked.
donated it, and so we don't know what the village did with their money. So it's not really fair to say, just because you didn't contribute, we're gonna deduct our funds.
It wasn't our money that they got.
Yeah.
We had
got it
money
from
available to
Fed.
us, and we had to submit eligible expenses to get it. And we submitted everything we had spent that was eligible, and we still would have had more available. And instead of losing it, we were able to give it to them. If the village submitted their full vote then and got their full vote, that's not really our business, I guess. But, you know, it's not like it was our money and they got it. It was money that we didn't need. And we didn't lose it, we gave it to them.
Okay. We need to, I will we rescind. Is that what we need to do, rescind
Yeah.
the deduction of each recovery funds? From the town share of the cost to study Deer Grove EMS district.
That's your motion. Motion by Williams,
I'll second.
second by Dupuy to rescind the credit for the routes to recovery fund shared with Deer Grove EMS towards the town share of the study of Deer Grove EMS district. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Both same sign, motion carried. Next item, consider approval for the highway superintendent to attend the virtual emergency disaster debris management training on April 27th.
Second.
That he should attend that, so that if we have a tornado or God knows what, and we have debris, knows what we can do with that.
This is our emergency. We're having our meeting.
So Dane
During that,
can
so-
either come and attend with you, or he could attend from his own computer. He didn't-
Well, he can do what he wants, I guess.
Yeah.
If I was him, I would show up.
Because Mike will probably have cookies or something there.
We'll get a little bourbon, a little party out
Am
of
I
it.
getting paid or am I clocking out?
I don't know.
You're on the clock. Motion by Dupuy, second by Williams for the highway superintendent to attend the virtual emergency disaster debris management training on April 27th.
Yeah, doing that here or next
Any
door?
other discussion?
Right here.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Then we need to set a date for Board of Review open and adjourn until the assessment roll is ready. And we had to do that between,
Isn't it like May 10th? And I was thinking maybe do it on your second meeting in May. You could do it right before your board meeting.
on the 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. I move we do it May 17th,
Prior to the
prior to our
regular board meeting. Motion by Williams.
7:00, right?
Second.
Yeah.
Second.
Second by Dupuy to set the date for Board of Review, where we'll open and adjourn for May 17th at 7 PM. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And we need to consider approve attendees to the DCTA annual meeting on May 19th.
Is it gonna be here?
I don't know where it is going to be.
Pretty sure.
Where?
Here.
Oh,
Meeting, no, they're not, it's gonna be
virtual.
virtual stuff.
Oh,
We aren't gonna get Jerry to cook?
No,
We could attend from home though, too, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
4 of us? 5? Motion to approve 5 to attend the DCTA annual meeting. Motion by Hampton, second by Anders on May 19th. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Are you going to run for reelection?
You just won.
To the DCTA Executive Board. Public Works Department.
Oh, a lot's happened. I wasn't here at the last meeting. Did you bring up the mowers at the last one?
No.
No.
So we listed the John Deere
Sold
mowers
afterwards.
and sold those on Wisconsin Surplus. Got a lot more than I ever thought we were gonna get.
18,000 was it for the two of
Yeah,
them?
combined, it was 9,300 for the 4-wheel drive and 7,600 for the 2-wheel drive,
What were you thinking?
4 and 5.
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome, right?
Somebody up north or something, or
One was
Beaver
like,
Dam in Kaukauna, was it?
yep,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
the Con area was
He
the one.
must have been in really good shape. Why did we get rid of him?
They were.
That's the way we keep them.
1,000 hours.
You bet, buddy. That keep looking good.
Here we go again.
There we go again.
Yeah, keep them looking real
Really
good.
good shape. Let's get rid of them.
Well, they have some value.
Yeah, right.
But we don't want to get rid of them when other people do. They look really bad.
Yeah, okay. You're talking awful fast right now.
No. We got speed bumps in on Damascus. We got a lot of eye rolls.
Oh, did I have complaints about that?
I haven't heard any yet.
Oh,
have.
I had heard so many. And I said, well, why are you driving down there?
Exactly.
I said, you don't live there. Jeez,
Go
we're
different way.
different people.
You got one email compliment from Eberts, I think, that they were really happy to have.
Oh, did it? You must got it. I never got
They
it.
live there. I think Chris.
Your complaints were people that didn't live there, just cutting through.
Cutting through, yeah. And so, well, why would I go around? You know, I go, well, because it's
It's not
just
a
5
neighborhood.
minutes faster, you know,
Well,
to go down there. Is,
you know, and it's, I don't care if people bitch
Don't matter.
about, you know, using them and stuff. There's 3 of them there now. And so that one I think probably is the biggest. There's 3.
Added one back.
Before there used to be 2.
Yeah.
Now they used to be able to zoom from either Damascus going north to the first one, or if you're coming south on Damascus from the second one, you could zoom all the way back, but now you can't, so.
none of you go through the golf course one of these days through, you know, it's gonna be there. I mean, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll get rid of the problem.
Yeah, and the one right by the park, I think is gonna help. A lot of people are liking that one.
Yeah.
And then we've been dealing with RESOP in Kennedy Hills, well, I have been. So they went to a new engineer and I've been giving driveway permits out. And
What?
so we've had to reevaluate already, I guess. The new engineer has on what culvert sizes we can use up there, because they went with a lot larger culvert under the road than what, you know, we expected, I guess. Or Nick thought, because when we first originally did this, him and I sat down and he looked at all the stuff and we figured out what culverts we're gonna use for size wise all the way down. Well, the new engineer he's given us a list basically of what we gotta use, and for every lot, what we can use.
Do the drainage or what?
Yeah.
Well, then he's probably right.
Yeah, I mean, because the way they did the ditches and everything, 100-year storm, you gotta prepare for. I guess that's what we have to do, so.
Okay, so all the roads and everything, they all have to be approved prior to anybody moving into the houses, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
We have to
yeah,
accept.
nothing's been,
Where is that at?
Haven't heard anything from
According to our engineer, RESOP has the list and is aware of what items he has to correct. And so it's in his court. But in the meantime, yeah, I had a call today from our fire inspector.
And what we should do is we should send an email to RESOP, copying him the response from the fire that he needs to put up temporary signage.
Oh, okay.
It's his road.
I
He
mean,
needs to have temporary signage.
I put a stop sign out for them.
well, yeah, because the contractors were running the sign and just
Yeah.
running the corner and about hitting the people coming down Kennedy. But
Yeah.
the fire inspector's concern was that, you know, these roads aren't mapped on their CAD, they're not signed, and there's houses that are well under
Yeah.
construction. You know, so they still, I mean, temporary signs will help for sure, but they aren't gonna be mapped until
Right.
it gets.
Until it gets
I'm gonna put my thing out there and say, I strongly feel that the next developers agreement, no building and permits until the roads are dedicated, because this is just ran into so many problems.
That's probably another lesson learned, you know.
Yeah, I know I brought it up last time, but this time I'm gonna bring it up even more.
I mean, with the utilities, I mean, we have no authority really to tell them what to do.
Yeah,
I mean, because it's not
yeah,
it's not ours.
yeah. So,
The building inspector isn't issuing occupancy permits yet.
no,
is he?
he can't issue.
Won't be able
No,
to.
we get notified before that happens.
He
Let's
knows,
hope not.
he knows that he can't issue occupancy until I tell him. Yeah,
We remind them about every day.
yeah.
There's what?
We remind them about every day, so.
That's another lesson that
Because
we
a couple of those
learned.
houses are getting awful close.
Yeah, that's what I told the one builder. I said, it's gonna sit empty for a long time. He's like, why is that? I go, well, you're not gonna get occupancy. Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't think they realize what that means.
Resup's got to get going.
Yeah, he does. He's done a couple of things I've noticed this week, but like he seeded everything. I mean, they still haven't come back and fixed all the ditches up, but
Yeah.
they haven't done anything with retention ponds yet. They're not even close to being done.
Do you have the list?
No,
I thought that, okay, when do those have to be done?
before they make a move in and before they can
Yeah.
dedicate it.
Well, that's kind of what I thought, but like I said, I've been driving out there periodically and like you said, there's nothing going on in those detention
No,
ponds.
they're gonna be building 2 houses now right next to the detention ponds, and they're gonna have heavy haul trucks moving rock around here pretty soon to do that. And them houses should have never been built, and nothing should have been sold. All this should have been done before any of that should have happened. Just like Vinnie's was. Vinnie's
Is
was
that
done
the,
that way. Everything was done.
the real estate agents, from Deerfield's issue?
No, it's our it's the way our developers agreement reads. It says that they can get permits, but they can't get occupancy until the dedication is made. So,
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I mean, we just been shouldering roads.
to tell them what happened there today.
Yeah, I was gonna work on that. I'll let that die down.
Now what?
Shouldering, and then we started mowing parks. Yeah, today I got a call from Ben Boyer at Alliant Energy, wondering if Intercon could retrieve one of their bore heads that had broken off underneath the road on Scenic Oak Drive, and that's in Kennedy Hills. So it's directly in the center of the road, about 4 feet down.
He's got to talk to Resup.
Yeah, Nick kind of advised me what to do with it. Since it is gonna be our road. And I'm gonna wanna be on site when they fix it. So they're gonna have to cut the blacktop and go get it. Just like if they had to cut the blacktop to install a gas line, that's what they have to do, that's part of it. So yeah, but then they gotta, when they're refilling all the material they put in, they gotta compact it every foot they fill. So if it's 4 feet, they gotta compact at least 4 times, and then it has to be covered with binder coat blacktop. It can't just be left in gravel.
No.
And I've told the Alliant Energy guy that, and I talked with the supervisor from Intercon on site. So a new bore head is about $8,500. And to go get it or whatever is gonna cost them a lot less, so they're gonna do that.
I didn't realize it was Resop's road that it was under. I thought you meant Kennedy, but then you probably need to contact Resop too, because it's his road at this point.
Yeah, well, he's allowing them to do whatever without talking to any of them, so.
Yeah.
I just want it fixed. I want it out of there and fixed right.
Yeah.
They hit a boulder about the size of a car, I guess.
Dad probably buried it there.
Why didn't you pick it up? When you were out there, huh?
Bill was.
I think that was waste.
Because we
Isn't
see in the
it? Isn't that
field.
hazardous waste?
You guys should take a drive out there
Go look
sometime.
at the pile of rocks there and see what kind of
Oh,
farming we
yes.
did out there.
Unbelievable.
All the rocks laying around.
Oh, yeah.
They're big. They're about the size of this table, some of them.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Take a drive out there. You'll see them laying in the ditch when you pull in well, just pull into Fields Road there into the new subdivision. There's 2 of them there. It's huge.
All along the road there, there's a whole pile of them.
That's what he stopped, dug out of there, yeah.
Yeah.
When they dug the ditches.
Well, it's your money, somebody will probably sell them.
Landscape rocks, a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah, they'll sell them, sure.
That reminds me, in your rock pile that you have
Oh, yeah, I gotta find a flat faced one, don't I?
2 of them for the fire station
Okay,
sometime.
yeah, I'll pick through there. Yeah, that's all I had, other than that. Oh, and the tablet is up and running. We just gotta now find a time to
Get everything mapped on it.
get programs done, yep. Sometime.
Okay. Clerks.
I guess we had an election since the last meeting, 521 in person, 313 absentees. Went really good. I had an awesome group of workers. That's another of the benefits of COVID, I guess, is I got an awesome bunch of workers now that I didn't have before. I had good workers before, but I have a lot more of them.
Good.
So,
I'm glad you qualified that statement if it's gonna be on TV.
yeah. No, we've gone to doing 3 shorter shifts and we never could have done that
Yeah.
before because we were so limited, but it works so much better to just do the 3 shorter shifts than when we used to. And I have such a bigger pool to pull from that it's great.
Okay. Board reports and communications. If anybody wants any changes to appointments, let me know this week because they'll be on the May 3rd agenda. Also on the May 3rd agenda, I'm supposed to have a request from the Friends of Koshkonong Creek. They are doing an RFP with University, which is out of the University of Wisconsin, for a study on Koshkonong Creek. And I think they're going to be asking Town of Deerfield, Town of Cottage Grove, each for $5,000. The Friends were going to put in $5,000, and they were going to try and get $5,000 from, I think it was the city of Sun Prairie.
And what's the purpose of the study? Yes,
The,
it exists.
the amount of water coming down from
Sun Prairie?
From
You
Sun
shouldn't be
Prairie.
paying for any of it then.
Yeah,
Sun
exactly.
Prairie, and what cleaning would, what the benefits would be, what it would cost.
We don't have a drainage board anymore down
No.
here.
No, there's no drainage district.
So here you got the one that's causing all the problems and it's 10 times bigger than everybody else and we're gonna pay the same amount of money, yeah? That doesn't make any sense.
Wow.
That'll be a nice discussion on that night.
Yeah. Committee reports, Deer Grove EMS.
And there's something for landfill too when you get back to it.
We met, they're doing an RFP.
Yeah.
I-
But the chiefs are both getting it, and they're both involved in it, which is good. It's a better document than what was originally submitted by the village. So that is encouraging. What was interesting, I think we heard at our meeting that the village of Deerfield has agreed to go along, but they haven't said anything about paying for it yet. They haven't agreed to pay for it.
No,
I did see that in the paper.
Pardon?
I did see that in the
Yeah.
local paper.
Did you say that you were able to get some of the parameters changed for the RFP that compared to what the village put out? Is that what I heard you say? Or no, I
Well, we were
couldn't.
hoping to do that.
Oh, so the village didn't immediately blast it out after our last meeting,
No,
like,
we did not.
Okay.
No.
okay,
It
that's
went
good.
out with, we submit proposals So whoever's going to apply will submit it to each chief as well as to,
Okay,
EMS commission and the village board.
right. So it isn't just going straight out from the village.
okay.
It's going from Eric Lang and Nick Archibald.
We got a text message from Tina. The village approved their portion of the bid for the landfill.
I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Did you?
I read them both.
Okay.
What's it for the? What is it?
Oh, that's what they're doing on Clark Street?
Oh, yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
Know if you'd seen it or not. I wonder, can we go back to the Natvig landfill gas vent project? We approved the money, but where are you going to get the money from? I would assume you would say it would come from undesignated,
Undesignated excess?
undesignated funds.
Mhm.
And that
That
40
was something we budgeted for. That was.
We did not have it. I looked in the March one and it wasn't in there that I saw,
I
so.
thought we talked about it, but I was.
I've already read it.
So I would love to have a motion that those funds would come from undesignated account.
So moved. Second.
Motion by DePlay, second by Anders, that the funds to pay for the that big landfill gas vents come from undesignated funds. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
We adjourn.
Second.
Motion by DePlay, second by Williams for adjournment. It's non-debatable. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
So the village is gonna take Clark Street all the way out to the corner by where we go up to the park, and that's it?
Only their portion.
You don't want to pay for ours?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's.
We vote here.